Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and today I want to talk to you all about 5 things I loved about homeschooling and 5 things I didn't. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you 5 things I loved about homeschooling and 5 things I didn't. So just after Christmas the UK government announced that England and the rest of the UK were going into lockdown again. So I think this was lockdown 3 for us. But this time these schools would be shut as well. They would only be open to key worker children. So as Howard and I aren't classed as key workers, Ted was at home with us for about 2.5 months this time. This time the school were really good. They had organised lessons for the children, and Ted had registration in the morning and in the afternoon as well, so he would go online and he'd see his friends and his teacher. So it was really well organised and it was really well done. And this time I have to say I felt a lot better in this lockdown than I did in the first one. I think the first one I was very confused about what was going on for quite a few weeks, and then once I got over that we didn't really have a lot to do during the day. But this time the school actually gave us work to do, so we had a lot to do during the day and we were kept busy, so time did go quite quickly. But it was hard work, I have to say that. But there were things I did really enjoy about it, and there were things that I didn't really enjoy about it as well. So I thought I'd sit and talk to you about the things I did like and the things I didn't today. So the first thing I really loved about lockdown 3 was not having to run out the door in the morning. It gets to about 8:20 in this house, and I always tend to like to walk to school with Ted. I find it's really good time for us to have together. So we always walk, so it does take us a bit longer than if we got in the car and drove. And I didn't miss having to run out the door, because we have to get out the door by a certain time. I always feel like we're running to the door to get out in the morning. The past few mornings I've been a bit more organised, I have to say, but before lockdown happened we weren't that organised, and it can be quite chaotic at that time in the morning, and that's one thing I won't miss. I didn't miss at all, but I did miss spending that time with Ted. Like the walk to school, we tend to have a little chat. We've started playing games now as well, and I find it's really good bonding time with my son. It's a really good time to have a chat and really good just to get some fresh air as well, and it also gets him out moving and me out moving as well. So I didn't miss the rushing out the door, but I did miss the walk to school. The second thing I really enjoyed about this lockdown was learning what my son was learning in school. When Ted comes out of school and I ask him how his day was and what he's done, I never normally get that much of a response. I'm sure most children are the same. If he did come out and tell me some of the things he'd done, I'd be like, whoa, because learning what Ted was learning was really interesting, and it's really interesting to see how they do it now compared to when I went to school, which was quite a long time ago. But the only thing I didn't like was the maths. I've never been a great fan of maths. I'm not a brilliant mathematician, I have to say, and I found maths really hard. And sometimes while Ted and I were doing maths lessons together, I would accidentally give Ted the answer. So I was like, this really isn't good. I can't wait for you to go back to school and learn this properly again. Apparently Miss Wynne, his teacher, gets it wrong as well though, so I'm not the only one, but he did say I mess up more than she does, so and then the third thing I loved about this lockdown was actually spending more time together at home. The first lockdown I was very on edge, was very uneasy. I didn't feel like myself. I was quite upset as well for a long time during the first lockdown. I'm not sure how long it went on, but I do remember feeling very upset and very just uneasy with the whole situation. Once that had passed I was fine, but this lockdown I was kind of expecting it coming. For a long time the Facebook and the papers on Facebook like The Guardian and The Independent were all saying the R rate's going up and we think that the government is going to close the schools. So I was kind of expecting it this time, and when it did happen it wasn't as much of a shock, to be honest. And I thought to myself, let's just enjoy this and let's just make the best of it. So that's what we try to do every day, basically. And we did have a much better time in lockdown 3 than we did in lockdown 1. There was lockdown 2. It's like a little series of movies, this, isn't it? But the schools weren't closed during that one, so... But the only thing I didn't like about spending more time together was the times when I didn't get any alone time. There were times when I did need just to be by myself for a little while, and the only way I could do that was to go out for a walk. And sometimes you don't always want to go out for a walk. Sometimes you just want to sit and read a book for 10 minutes or something. But yeah, I did find that I did a lot more walking during this lockdown, and that really helped me. The fourth thing I loved about this lockdown was Ted has become more interested in what I'm cooking for dinner. So he will often come into the kitchen and ask me, and he will always want to help. And I am trying to teach him knife skills now as well. So he's learning different skills than when he's in school, which I think is a good thing. In the first lockdown, he actually learned how to put the washing machine on. Not that he's ever done it since, but at least he knows how to do it. I think that's a good thing. I think when kids tend to spend more time at home, they tend to realise what mum and dad do at home. So it makes them realise that, you know, you've got to clean a house, you've got to put washing on, you've got to do cooking for yourself. And that, I think, helps them in later life, maybe. You won't see it when they're younger, but when they're older, they'll be... But I think, I hope that he'll be much more independent and be able to do his own washing and cook himself a nice meal every so often as well, fingers crossed. But sometimes as a parent you do have quite a lot to do and you just want to get on, and I don't mean to knock him or push him aside or anything like that, but there were times when I just needed to cook the dinner and just get on and do it. And I am that kind of person. I do need my own space occasionally, and going into the kitchen is one of the ways I get my own space. So it could be a little bit annoying if there was a person there, but I did try just to breathe through it and think, he's just trying to be helpful, and that's what I love about him. He always tries to be helpful, so yeah. And the fifth thing I loved about this lockdown is having my son all to myself. I do really enjoy spending time with Ted. He's energetic, he's enthusiastic, he's tenacious. Trust me, he never gives up, that boy. He's caring, he's helpful, as I've mentioned earlier. He's kind, he makes me laugh and smile every single day, and I really enjoy spending time with him. But the one thing I didn't enjoy was the fact that he didn't have his friends to hang out with. So he would have morning and afternoon registration on Zoom with his teacher and all of his classmates. So he would get to see his friends there, but I don't think it's the same, as we have all learned during this lockdown, as seeing someone face to face. And I'm really pleased he's gone back to school to get so he can see his friends now, but I do miss spending that time with him. So that's the 5 things I loved about lockdown 3.0 and the 5 things I didn't, and I would love to know if you enjoyed this lockdown or not. Did you like spending time with your family, or did they get on your nerves? Let me know in the comments below, and please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!